Okay, welcome everybody. A great song by Aerosmith, a little bit more recent time song. I just really love the licks in this, and once I got into it, it was a blast. You know, watching them live do this, listening to it, the studio recording left and right, there's a lot going on in this song. So I'm going to touch on what both Joe Perry and Brad Whitford play. And I've written this all out. Of course, my notes will be available below for you to click on and download. The intro has two guitars in it, and the second guitar really surprised me because it's got a Leslie on it. So I'll show you that part. And the lead's surprisingly not very difficult once you learn it. It's very memorable. You've heard it 1,000 times. So that makes it a lot more enjoyable to learn. So we'll go over all those parts. I'm going to go over both Brad and Joe's parts, but I'm going to do them separately. We'll go over Joe first. So the song will start out, we're going to slide into the 7th fret of the 5th string, go back to 5, back to 7, and then we catch 7 on the 6th string. Come back to the 5th string at 5, back to 7 on the 6th string. Then we're going to do a little walk down. We'll go 6, 5, slid to 3. Take 5, hit 3 again, and then 5, slid up. And then off. Do that 4 times, and then you hear both Brad and Joe go into an A and then a D power chord. Then they start the verse. Alright, during that power chord, one of the guitars, and I listened to this really hard because if you listen hard panned right, you can really hear what they're doing, because I've seen it played with some notes on the G string and the B string, but what he's really doing, he's sliding on the 5th string from 4 to 5 and then hitting the 4th string open. Does it 3 times back and forth. And then a slide back and then open. The D, and we'll do the same thing but on the 4th to 3rd string open, and then that open D string. Again, the other guitar is holding down the actual chord. So listen real hard, you'll see that's it. So for the verse, this is pretty consistent throughout the song. What they're going to do is hit an open power chord E, then go to the 2nd fret of the 6th string, back off, back to the 2nd fret, then 3rd. Each one's picked. Then we're going to strike a G power chord, so we won't let that 5th string ring. And then go to basically a C power chord. This would be C suspended, but we're going to just move our from the 6th string to the 5th string, still mute that 4th string at this point, and let the bottom 2 stay the same. Alright, so we got this. So that's one measure. That'll go through 4 times. On the second measure, what we're going to do is go from a D to a G. Alright, and he's going to walk up the D with the open A string, then 4th fret of that 5th string, and then finally landing on what'll play a D chord. Alright, I'm just using my pinky. And then a G 4th root. Alright, so the way we do this is open 5th string with the 7th fret of the 4th string. They're both A notes. I'm just using my pinky here. So what we're going to do is hit them together and then 4 pulled off while we strike 7. 4 on the 5th string. Then we're going to hit 4 and 7 again, but we'll slide it up to 5. So now we hit that D chord, then a G chord. Alright, so we have this so far. Slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. And do it again. We'll do that a total of 4 times. On the 4th time, we're going to be leading into the chorus, so we just stop on the D chord. Then we're into the chorus. Alright, for the chorus, what Joe's playing, he's right here referencing a B chord, and we're going to add on this suspended. So we'll be at the 4th fret on the 4th, 3rd, 2nd string. We'll be hammering on to the 2nd string at 5 and the 3rd string at 6. I'm sorry, 4th string at 6. And it's kind of goes with the melody of the song. Alright, so we're going back on and back off twice. And then we hit this A chord. So we'll just be on the 4th and 5th string there at the 7th fret. It's like we were playing an A power chord. Alright, one thing I want to mention, I didn't really write this out, but I noticed live, Joe will occasionally add, because we're referencing a B here, between those 2 licks before we go to the A, he will add this, if we were playing a B power chord, the 1st and 2nd string here at the 9th fret. So it'll sound like this. That's not in the recording, but if you want to do that or you watch him do that live, that's what he's doing. He's just adding those suspended notes to this chord. Alright, the second time through, when we come down the second time, we're not going to come back up to the B. We're going to come from that to the B flat and then A. So that's the timing of it. So let me take you all through Joe's part during the chorus. I'll add that live piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're back into the verse. All right, so that's the chorus number 1. Chorus number 2 is a little bit different, and we'll talk about that. Alright, for the chorus, what Joe's playing, he's right here referencing a B chord, and we're going to add on this suspended. So we'll be at the 4th fret on the 4th, 3rd, 2nd string. We'll be hammering on to the 2nd string at 5 and the third string at 6. I'm sorry, fourth string at 6. And it's kind of goes with the melody of the song. Alright, so we're going back on and back off twice. And then we hit this A chord. So we'll just be on the 4th and 5th string there at the 7th fret. It's like we were playing an A power chord. Alright, one thing I want to mention, I didn't really write this out, but I noticed live, Joe will occasionally add, because we're referencing a B here, between those two licks before we go to the A, he will add this, if we were playing a B power chord, the 1st and 2nd string here at the 9th fret. So it'll sound like this. That's not in the recording, but if you want to do that or you watch him do that live, that's what he's doing. He's just adding those suspended notes to this chord. Alright, the second time through, when we come down the second time, we're not going to come back up to the B. We're going to come from that to the B flat and then A. So that's the timing of it. So let me take you all through Joe's part during the chorus. I'll add that live piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're back into the verse. All right, so that's the chorus number 1. Chorus number 2 is a little bit different, and we'll talk about that. Verse 2 is exactly the same as what we've done. Alright, and so forth. Then when we get to chorus 2, what he's going to do is go to that A twice. Then he goes to an E. There's again, the second chorus is a lot different. He goes to an E. Brad's playing a little bit different part under that E, but basically Joe's riding the E. And then he's going to come back and finish it out with the second, we'll just call it half measure of the first chorus where we walk down. Alright, then we're into the solo. So that's Joe's parts through chorus 2. Alright, this first solo rhythm section really will start out with Joe. Brad's first is the first to start the solo, if you will. So Joe will play this, D, and they both just trade off, okay? So it's really 3 measures worth. We're going to start out with an A to D and do the intro lick twice. Alright, then Brad will take back over with the A to D. He'll do that 2 more times. Joe will come back with his A to D, the lick, and after that, they finish up with 1 more A to D before we're in the middle section. Alright, so I'll do 1 more lick and then end and start the middle section. Alright, so the middle section's a little bit different. There's actually backwards guitar going on. And I'll actually show you how to get that effect. But basically the middle section starts out, they're going to do this a total of 4, now let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 muted E's, alright, and then a down, up, down muted strings. Alright, the first 2 E power chords, if you will just be muted, and it'll be 2 of them. Then we're going to do 3 muted E's. Then we're into the lick we all know, all right? So that's the middle section. Again, I've written it out. You can kind of practice that. Once you kind of get that feel, it's really just going back and forth and then letting that G kind of ring out with a mute. Then we're into this main middle section lick, all right? This middle section lick, it's tricky. It's not as simple as some people have written it out or, quote, figured it out. If you listen real closely, there's 2 open E's. Then what we're going to do is go to this is all on the 6th string. 4th fret of the 6th string, pull off to open, and then hit another open. Alright, so we have this so far. That E, open 6th string, leads you to the next lick, if you will, or next part of it. We're going to hit the 5th fret and then 6th fret. Don't go to 7, that's a little different. Alright, so let me start it. Like I said, we've got 1 E, then the next open E leads you into the 4th string. Then another open E after we pull off to open leads you to 5, and then 5 will lead you to 6. When we get to 7, we're going to hit 7 and pull off, no extra E. And then we go to the, you want to be in the 4th position because we're going to go 4 to 5 on the 5th string. So, slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's almost harder to do slower. Maybe a medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will repeat total of 12 times. Right. After the 7th time, we'll start the 2nd solo. All right. At, I think it's the 8th time, you're going to hear a little pause. All right. And it's when Stephen says, going down, they stop the very, it keeps going, but it's more in the background when he says going down, and then you hear this like. Alright, so that little lick that he does is their E's. We're going to hit the 5th string at the 7th fret to 2 on the open E. Again. Then we're going to catch the 7th fret E and then a B note. And then to the 4-5 on the 5th string. It's like he's picking up the lick. Alright, so slowly 1, 2, 3, 4. again, that will finish out then. And then we're into chorus. Well, actually, we finished with a D, then an A. Then we're into the third chorus, which is the same as chorus 1. So it's a little shorter, there's no A rest. All right. Then they do chorus 4, where we're going to go to that E, rest there if you're Joe, and then back to this, and it doesn't really walk down, it goes out with the second measure repeated. So we're going to go back and forth from the E, 2, 3, 4, back to the B with the suspendeds. That's how the song goes out. There's a little horn section and it starts fading away, but we'll go over some of the other guitar parts and what Brad's doing specifically and the solos. Let's talk about the second guitar. I'm going to turn on my roto machine, and what he's doing, he's got a Leslie effect and he's harmonizing here up at the let's see, 7th and 9th fret. Alright, so what he's doing there is we're basically the same lick starting on the 3rd string from 9 to 7. Back to the 3rd string. Then we walk down, but we're going to come to our pinky on the 5th string. So we'll go on the 4th string from 8 to 7 and then catch 10 on the 5th. Back to the 4th, and then, let's see, I kind of lost myself there. And then what we're going to do is hit the 4th string at 9 to the 5th string at 7. Alright, so that's the Leslie effect in the intro that Brad plays, and again, I believe he holds down the A and the D while Joe plays a little lick. Now that's on the recording. Live, they both tend to play the lick up here at the 5th and 7th string. So it's your choice. So during the verse, Brad's playing more of the actual power chords. So we're going to do the same lick that leads up to a G, but we'll play a G power chord here on the 6th string, 5th, and 4th. Then we're going to go to a C chord, again suspended, so we're just going to leave the bottom 2 strings open. When we go into the next part, he's playing a different style of G power chord. So we're going to do the same lick up to a D. Then we go to this G. Alright, so we're going to cover the 1st and 2nd string. You can leave the 3rd string open or mute it. It really doesn't matter because that G is part of the G chord. And we're not going to use the 6th string, but we'll cover the 5th fret of the 5th and 3rd string. Alright, so it's just a different way of playing that. And then where they really separate is at the chorus. So for Brad's chorus, what he's doing is writing the B with a suspended 6th. So we'll be using our pinky up here at the 11th fret. We'll be doing basically a B power chord going back and forth. It'll start out with 2 on the 7 and 9 before you go 11, 9, 11, back to 9. Then he just hits on the 7th fret, the 6th, 5th, and 4th string. It's still an A, it's more of a B over A. You can hit just, if you don't like the sound, but I think it blends in really well with what the bass and everything is doing at that point. Second time through, when we get to the second set of 11s, we'll hit 11 and then slide down to, let's see, this will be 6 and 8, and then 5 and 7. So it'll sound like this. Alright, then we're back into the verse. Now the second chorus, when they go to the A, Brad's playing a little figure underneath, I'm sorry, the E. Brad's doing a little figure under the E, where he's hitting the open 6th string, 9th fret of the 5th, 9th fret of the 5th, up to 11 on the 5th. Going back to the A, and then one more time. So that's the second chorus. Again, I've written this out, but it's done really well. So there you have what Brad's doing differently. Now, Brad plays a lot of the solo in this, frankly. So we'll talk about that, especially the second solo. I'm pretty sure it's mostly Brad. So the first solo you'll hear Brad take off with, and he'll start, and we'll go. Alright, that's where Brad stops, and he goes back. Joe takes off from there. Alright, so what we're doing to start this out with is basically a 2-string melody. We're going to start out the first string at 9th fret, the second string at 10. We're going to add 10 on the first string, up to 12, back to 10, 9, 10, 12, back to 10. At that point, we're going to switch the strings. We'll go to the second and third string. Our melody will be right here on the second string. But we're going to hit the third string at the 7th fret with it. Then he does these 2 quick licks. We'll be at the 12th fret with the first string, pulled off to open, catching 15 on the second. Do this, to do it kind of quickly, you don't have to pull off real far. He'll do it twice. Then he comes to 12 and hits 15 bent up. Then we come back to, let's see, after we've bent it, let's come back to the first string at 12, second string 15 to 12, then third string 12, landing on the fourth string at 14. That gives us, he kind of slides in a little bit. So what we're doing there, the 14th fret of that fourth string where we landed, to the third and second string at 12. We'll hit those 3 times with the 14 on 4 between it. Total of 3. Then just 1. Then he comes into the little walk down or slide in, alright? We're going to slide in, basically this will be an A. We're just playing the third and first string. I use hybrid picking, so I'm going to pick the third string and pluck the first. Then we're going to slide that up to 7 on both the first and third strings. slide that up to 9, and then to 11, and on the first string, 10. Alright, that's when Joe comes back in. Joe will actually start in with that sliding. Alright, but right at that point is where they switch. Okay, so Joe's solo will come in about where Brad left off. Alright, so what he's doing, he's coming into the D basically, and then, so we got 11 and 10 on the third and first string. Then we move that up to the 12th fret of both the third and first string, and then 14. Then he hits 4 strikes on the third and second string at 14 before 2 strikes at 12. Then he comes to the 4th string. He's going to pull off to 12, then hit 14 twice, and then 12 twice. Coming to the 5th string, 14 slid to 12, pulled off to 10. Then we're going to hit 12, pulled off to 10 3 times before landing on 12 on the 6th string. Alright, so let's take it from the beginning slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point he takes off. It's really kind of, again, every time I watch him he does this a little bit differently, but in the actual recording, we're going to hit the open 5th string to 2nd and 4, all right, hammered on, and we'll do that on the 4th and the 3rd string. When we hit the 4th fret of the 4th string, we're going to bend it up, release, and then pull off to 2, and then hit 4 again. He'll do that 4 times. Then he does it 4 times without the 4. So it's just a pull off to 2. 4 of those, alright? So from the start at the 5th string, open 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Three pull-offs from 4-2 to open on that 3rd string, and one last one on the 4th string. Before it comes all the way back up to 17 here on the 2nd string with a bend, and then striking it as we're slowly releasing it, and then 2 hits with it unbent before we go 19 on 1 back to 17 on 2. Okay, so that's where Joe comes in. Now Brad will take over from there. So to finish out the first solo, Brad will play this. Alright, so what we're doing there is we're going to do a unison bend, hitting the 1st string at 12 while we bend and strike 15. Alright, we'll hit that again and then slowly release that. It's not real slow, I should say. But when we get down to the bottom, we're going to pull off 15, 14, 12 3 times. Then we land on 14 on the 3rd string, back to 12 on the 1st, and then a 15, 14, 12 pull off on the 3rd. So those pull offs, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we come up to the 14th fret of the 3rd and 2nd string to 12, landing on 14 on the 4th, back to 12 on the 3rd and 2nd. Then we're going to catch 1st and 2nd string. We start out 2nd string, go from 12 to 12, back to 12, back to 12. The 3rd time we hit the 12 on the 1st string, we're going to come up to 17 on that 1st string with a bend. Alright, that ends the solo. So we'll go over solo 2, which uses a lot of the neck pickup. Okay, so I've got my neck pickup on, and I've got my tone set at about 5. So the solo starts at the 12th position, moves a little bit, but we'll go over that. So what we're doing there is we're going to start out bending 14 up and then hitting 12 with some vibrato. Then we're going to hit 12, bend that. I use down. You can push up whatever way you want. We're going to bend 12 and then hit it unbent. Then we'll go to the 4th string, 14 pulled off to 12, catching 12 on the 3rd string to 14 on the 4th with vibrato. At that point, we go to the 3rd string. We're going to slide 7 to 9, and then quickly catch 9 on the 2nd string and slide back. At that point, we're going to take now we'll move to the 2nd string and the 4th string. We're going to slide the 4th string up to 9, then hit 9 on the 2nd string. Start sliding back, but you're going to really go right to the 3rd string at 7. Alright, some vibrato there. So those 2 licks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, after that vibrato, we come back. We're going to be on the 3rd and 1st string. We're going to slide into 12 on the 3rd string, hit the 1st string at 12, and back to the 3rd string solo with some vibrato. Then we come up to the 2nd string at 15 with a bend. As we release it, we're going to hit, actually, you're going to come back, not 12, you're going to hit 11. Then you're going to slide into 12 on the 3rd string, go back to 11 on that 2nd string, and then 12 again. Then again the 2nd string. Alright, so we have this. Then we catch the 3rd string at 14 with a bend. And then catch 14 on the 4th string. Alright, so let's do that whole first part together slowly. 2nd solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's how we get into the 2nd solo. That's the first 2 measures of it. The next 2 measures of the solo sound like this. Stop there. Alright, so what we're doing to start out this 3rd measure of the solo is we're going to basically be playing a melody on the first and second string, and the melody will come between 14 and 12 on the second string. So there's a little bend there, but it starts out 15 is stationary on the first string. We're going to hit 14 bent, then we're going to hit 14 bent twice. Then we're going to hit 14 unbent to 14 bent and 14 unbent. And back to 12 and 14. Alright, so to that point, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do bent, unbent, and then 12 again. Then he just stops because they come in with the go in, down, and then he comes back in with this lick. Alright, it's a little bit of a skip. We're going to hit the first string at 12, and then we're going to jump up to the fourth string, an E note also, at the 14th fret on the fourth string. So we hit 14 twice, 12, 14 twice, then 12, and 14 once. Alright, at that point, we're going to kind of take off from there. We're going to hit 14 on the fifth string to 12 on the fourth, back to 15 or the fifth string at 14. Skip a string, come to 12 on the third string to 14 on the fourth. Then we're going to hit 12 with a slight bend and 12 again, bend till we hit, that's on the third string. 14 on the fourth string, lay your finger down, catch 14 on the third, back to 14 on the fourth. 12 again on the third string, slight bend. Then we're going to take off, hitting 14 on the fourth string, pulled off to 12. Then we'll come down to the second string, 15, hit that once, and then pull it off to 12. Then go to 14 on the third string, pulled off to 12. Then come right down to the first string, 15 to 12. Alright, so up to that point, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to hit 15 on the second string, 12 on the first twice. The 12 the second time, we're moving to 15, so it's almost like a slide. And then we'll hit 15 and then 17 on the second string twice. We'll do that again and once. Then we catch 15 on the first string to 17, bend and release. 15, 17 three times. We'll do that a total of 3 times. I'm sorry, 15 to 17 twice. We'll do that a total of 3 times. Then we're going to hit 15, slight bend before we end on the two hits on 17 second string. Okay, so from the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see it's really not very difficult per se, technique-wise. It's really just getting it in your head, and a lot of the melody aligns with the singing or what's inferred with the melody. So the last 3 measures of the lead will sound like this. Alright, so to start out with, really cool lick. We're going to slide in on the 5th string 14, catch the 3rd string at 13, and then the 4th string at 12. Then we're going to slide in from 12 to 14. Just lay your finger down and catch 14 on the 2nd string to the 3rd string at 12. At that point, we're going to slide in from 11 to 12 on the 2nd string. Go back and forth. Then we're going to catch 15, bend that up, unison bend again with 12 head steady on the 1st string. So 15 bent will be on the 2nd string. And you kind of hold that 12 and just kind of hit 15 bent. Then we're going to go to this, like 12 on the 1st string to 12 on the 2nd, bend up 15. Repeat that 3 times. Then we'll come to the 12s. And slide up to the 2nd string at 20, 19 on the 1st. 20 will be bent, catching 19. All right, we're going to do that a total of 8 times. Then we catch 20 unbent, and the lick on 19 on the 2nd string. Alright, so that's all of the solos. That's the whole song. I really hope this helps everybody. It was just a joy learning this. I love doing songs that I have fun with, and I had a lot of fun learning this. So I hope that helps everybody. Again, my notes will be below to click on and download. Enjoy.